You are now listening to Femme Regard Podcast with Tessa Markle
and Carolina Alvarez.
Femme.
Hey, Femme fam. Welcome back. This is our season 12 finale episode. Woo-hoo! And we are bringing you another video episode, which this is our second this season. So we hope you guys have really enjoyed that because we really love bringing you video content. We can't always do it, but we try to as much as we can. And we, a lot of times, have special exclusive video content on our Patreon, which if you are interested, you can join for as little as $1, but $5 to get the exclusive content per month. And it's just at patreon.com/femregard. But to see this video episode, if you're already listening in only audio, head on over to Femme Regard Productions YouTube, or we are now on Spotify on video as well. So we hope you enjoy, and we are super excited about our guest today.
Yes, hang tight, fam. This woman is a powerhouse. She's an up-and-coming singer-songwriter and actress who has worked with many established artists, producers, filmmakers, and major record labels, no big deal. She has appeared in an extensive list of commercials and print, and she's a badass boss babe entrepreneur. She started AVS, Acting and Voice Studios, which provides the top quality training for film and television actors. And that just goes across the entire world. They work with over 200 of the acting industry's top agents, managers, casting directors, filmmakers, and working actors. And from all the experience she had with launching that business, she's now launching Actors Summit, which is the largest acting event in the world. And we'll dive deep into that today. But lastly, and most importantly, she is my best friend, basically sister. So welcome, Katrina Moran.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. What a crazy introduction there.
I know. I was had to go through my notes. I'm I'm getting that one. I'm getting that one. Your list just goes on forever. And you're just one of the most inspiring, best humans that have touched my life. So I'm so happy this episode is long overdue with you. And
something else to point out to the listeners as well is that Katrina's husband Kent was also on our show, I think in the very first season, right?
Yeah, it was our first season. Absolutely.
Yeah, so if you guys want to hear that, head on back to our very first season years ago now, which is crazy. And you can hear Katrina's other half. But yes, today we're here to talk to Katrina. So welcome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. Kent did an episode with you guys, and I've been wanting to do one since. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you guys.
He was the warm-up. Okay. He was just the warm-up. He was the entree. You're the full course meal. Love you, Kat. Shout out to you. But we are, for our listeners, a little bit of history between Katrina and I. We actually went to the same school together for musical theater. We both got our bachelor's there for acting and musical theater and singing and dancing. We did the whole thing in New York.
Yep, that was fun. Our young days.
Fun days. It's crazy. It's basically almost it's been almost 10 years.
Crazy. Yeah. But look how far we've all come. And honestly, the memories that we've made are just going to stay with us forever. It was a really good time.
Yeah, Katrina and I knew we were going to be best friends when we both showed up to the same, we showed up to ballet class wearing the same leotard. So I was this bitch is my girl.
And that would happen over and over and over again.
Yeah, with everything too, to suitcases. We had the same leopard print suitcase to paint a picture.
Wait, was it cloth or was it hard? What was it?
It was hard.
Oh, okay, because I had a cloth one. I was going to say maybe we were all triplets, but
that would have been so funny.
It was leather.
It was it was leather. Leathery.
Fancy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know the type.
Exactly.
I was just the Walmart brand of you guys.
We were TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Exactly.
Literally. And then Katrina ended up coming to LA after I had already moved, and was so happy to have her here. I miss her because now she's not here anymore. But to let us tell our listeners a little bit about your time in LA and how that launched acting and voice studios, because that's like the most inspiring story. If you want to share, like whatever you want to share about it, because I was just always rooting for you throughout that time, and yeah, just your inspiration.
Aw, thank you so much. So appreciate it. Yeah. Well, I came to LA obviously to pursue acting, was very excited to be there. And even before, getting an agent, I was just kind of trying to book work on my own, booked a couple of commercials on my own, then got commercial agent, print agent, and then that way, like through the same agency, word of mouth, got a theatrical agent. But in the middle of it, unfortunately, I got very, very sick. And I, for a long time, didn't know what was happening with me. So, but long story short, I'm going to make it very short because it is a long story. I couldn't eat. So I really couldn't live my life. Like I was losing a lot of weight. I just wasn't functioning whatsoever. Tons of, emergency visits, emergency room visits, hospitalizations, long hospitalizations and surgeries and a bunch of colonoscopies and everything. So many years after, I was actually finally diagnosed with Crohn's disease and autoimmune arthritis from Crohn's disease. Oh, actually, now it's psoriatic arthritis.
Oh my God.
That. But I've been doing very well now. I've been on medication, and ever since I started the medication, I've been, doing so much better. It was a very long journey for me to get to my diagnosis. Also, a very long journey for me to finally get better and start living my life. But throughout everything, like I still had to live my life. I was just 21 when I got sick, even though it was extremely hard to live my life. Like I still had to. So I actually met my husband, Kent. So I met him in LA, and then he's a filmmaker, actor, writer, director. And he's from, the New York area, and my family was here too at that time. So we decided to move back and be here. Which we've been happy, but we do miss LA. We miss you, Carolina. So
No, boo, I know.
yeah, I hope we'll be back soon. But yeah, so basically when I was in LA, as every actor out there, up and coming actor, we do need a side job, right? We need something. And I started teaching just private lessons, mostly singing lessons, really, just in my apartment. And I kind of, since then, I've always pictured, oh, wow, it would be actually really nice to open up my own school. So I've always pictured that for myself. I don't know why, but I've always wanted a school. Even like back then when I was barely making anything, I was like, oh, let me look at some rentals and offices because maybe I could do it, right?
Yeah.
So then what happened was we moved here. We actually moved to Connecticut. And we had a basement, unfinished basement, that we decided to like paint our cement walls and make it look very artistic, and put some paintings on the walls to make it look, again, artistic and not unfinished. So I started teaching there, and I was working with lots of kids because obviously, this is the area that I was in. And then we decided to start doing some group classes, which is like, now looking back, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing that I did it out of my basement. I would bring teachers from the city, like working actors. They would take the train to Greenwich, Connecticut, and then they would walk to my apartment, which is it was a townhouse. So they would walk to our townhouse, and then our holding room was our living room and our kitchen. And then they would go down the stairs to the basement for their classes with this New York City top acting coach. So it was nice.
Girl.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to start that way, but obviously it was a little embarrassing to do it out of my basement, but that's kind of how we started.
Hey, you made it happen. It doesn't matter, like it could be in your backyard. You made it happen, and I'm sure everybody was grateful.
Thank you.
You're the kind of person, and I think this is a note to take, like everyone needs to start somewhere, right? But wherever you start, you got to give it your all. Like I know you, because the way you said that, you even I believe held even voice lessons in LA, not acting in voice studios like a whole class, but did one-on-ones. And you're the kind of person to make sure the walls are soundproof, that there was a proper like area for, you know, to breathe and teach and sing. And so I'm sure, like, even though it was your basement, you made it a space that was teachable. And I think that's the takeaway. Like, no matter where you got to start, as long as you're putting it and making it look as professional as you can, soundproof, you know, all those little things, like that's the way to go, girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, thank you. Acting Voice Studio started from just like literally zero, from nothing, with no investment, nothing. It was just teaching my own private voice lessons and putting that money into the group classes with hopes that that would work, right? And paying. I was like, okay, my goal, I still want to act. I want to sing. I don't want to be always teaching myself. So I always pictured myself as running it, right? But not actually teaching. So eventually I wanted to move on from teaching itself. So we actually then were able to move out of our basement and get an office in Greenwich. And in the meantime, while I was doing it was actually called Greenwich Acting and Voice Studios at that point, but then we decided to, you know, the company's called Acting and Voice Studios because we're like, okay, well, maybe one day we'll open it in New York City, maybe LA, you know, we'll see.
You got to dream big. You need to keep those sights on the horizon.
Yeah. So then we basically, I decided to do some free workshops, free acting workshops in the city. I would rent spaces at like Pearl Studios, Ripley Greer Studios, and I would just invite a bunch of people through different platforms, have like literally free become a working actor workshops, right? And then I would tell them what we have available because we did have a couple of classes that I was starting or just waiting for people to sign up with other teachers that I basically interviewed and made sure they had a lot of amazing TV credits and stuff. So that's how Acting Voice Studio started in New York. So that was kind of very interesting. And little by little, you know, we got our first office in the city, and we decided to close Greenwich because it was just not, you know, it was just not taking off as much as I wanted it to. And it was like wasting our time when we really should have been focusing on New York. So in New York, it was just taking off, you know, with barely doing anything. It was just taking off. And then we actually started we started doing some agent workshops here and there was a like huge demand for that. And I was like, wow, that's very interesting. So we really started getting into more of that, and eventually completely transitioned our business to literally just working with casting directors, agents, managers. We still have some working actors, and those working actors are teaching beginner classes. So people who come to our studio and they've never done anything before, we don't want them to to go into an agent showcase. And so we say, hey, you should probably take this intensive. You can go somewhere else, but like come to us when you have a little bit of experience and training and some a resume built up that you can show, to those agents. But yeah, so that was a really, really cool experience. I mean, the growth over the years, has been insane. And just to see kind of like where we started and where we came now, it's really amazing. So now since COVID, actually right during when COVID hit, we moved to a very large space in New York City, like triple the size of our old space. And then we were actually also opening up an LA location. And that's why we went out there. And that time we saw you, Carolina.
Yes.
That was right before COVID. So that was, I think, 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And we thankfully did not get a space in LA because I was like, let's just see how the big New York space does, because we just invested all of our money into that. We renovated that space. Oh my gosh. I mean,
it was beautiful. I went, guys. It was amazing.
Yeah. And then as soon as we moved in, lockdown happened. So we were never really able to fulfill our dreams, and hopes to do what we were supposed to do in that space. So only a few months ago, we actually decided to break the lease. We were able to make a deal with the landlord just because like everything's online now. And so we realized, okay, that's probably not the best thing. COVID rules constantly change. So that's been very, very difficult. So since then, yes, we've been fully online. And the amazing part about it is that we have agents, casting directors, managers from LA, New York, Atlanta, London, Chicago. So sometimes Australia, Canada. So it's really worldwide. And then our students come to us from everywhere. I mean, when I just see people that come, they come from even Japan, Germany, Switzerland, Sweden, like just Italy. I mean, anywhere imaginable, people come to us. So that's really, really amazing to see.
Wow.
So that's kind of that's what happened with Acting and Voice Studios.
Wow. I mean, what a journey, like, for you guys to start so small and then realize like what was really the most successful with your business, and then pursuing that and growing and then being hit with lockdown and having to make decisions that way, but to still keep going and be successful. Like, that's awesome. And to hear that you're doing like worldwide teachers and students, I mean, that's so beneficial to have something that can have that sort of outreach. It's not just New York or even just New York and LA. It's literally everywhere, which is cool. I think even for the people that are right here, like, I mean, I've been thinking about moving in the next few years or whatever, but like one of my options for a while was Canada. So it would be really cool for me to have met, casting directors in Canada that way. So it's so cool that that's offered.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I've been very, happy to see that it kind of just transitioned this way. And there's a lot of pivoting, like seeing what works, what doesn't. Still to this day, a lot of pivoting. Honestly, every day you kind of have to learn what works, what doesn't, and make adjustments and keep going. And yes, obviously, so many ups and downs. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
But
that's for everyone in any business. If you want to be successful, you have to learn how to pivot. Filmmaking, if you're on set, you have to learn how to pivot and make those calls. And like your example of like letting go of the Greenwich location, when that sometimes we have like a strong emotional tie to something, like that was your baby, right? That's where you first started. And like letting go, we talk about this a lot on the show, but this is like how it translates to business and life. Like you could, feel like you poured yourself into this one thing when in reality, to grow up, quote unquote, and like move and continue on your journey, you have to sometimes like let those things go in order to keep growing. And I think that's like, it's the toughest calls to make. And sometimes you really can hit rock bottom in those moments.
Yeah.
You just like feel like either that sense of attachment can make you feel like, oh, I failed in this, or, I'm not ready to, like, how can I be so sure this is the right call? But like, when you have to like, really, really, I think, like in those moments, and tell me if that was for you too, like just sit with yourself and be like, okay, like this is what we need to do, and just own it and pivot and grow.
I feel like that was a really good breakup talk, Carolina. Same applies to ex-boyfriends.
Yep.
I got you, booze. Come to me. I'll tell them, let it go. Cut the cord. Oh my gosh. And something else I wanted to highlight though was the casting agents and casting directors, and agents that you have. I feel like you have like the creme de la creme. Like let's name drop. Like, can we tell us a little more? You're so modest, Katrina. Like, oh my God.
Sure. Yeah. So that's
let's go.
The biggest point of our studio. We do try to get, kind of the best in the industry. Okay, with casting directors. So our Acting Voice Studios, like we'll just start there, that offers TV and film on camera classes, right? But also voiceover commercial. So we're very big into voiceovers, actually. And
really,
we do work with a lot of
Tessa.
We do work with a lot of top voiceover casting directors and agents. And I mean, I'll mention Actor Summit later, but obviously a lot of those people that we work with at Acting Voice Studios are going to be at Actor Summit. But all are going to be there over 3 days. So that's what the kind of like the cool part about Actor Summit. But in terms of Acting Voice Studios, we work with legendary Jenkins. She's cast so many amazing, legendary movies. We work with Kevin Reher from Pixar. He actually is the main casting director of Pixar from beginning of Pixar.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Markle is another big casting director. And then so on and so on. So really lots of times we also work with casting associates, our big casting directors. Sometimes huge casting directors don't have the time to teach. Actually, Jane Jenkins has retired since then. So she's been, actually she has a 4-week intensive with us monthly for, I think now 2 years. So she teaches month to month with us. And some people, I think, stay in her intensive for a few months, so that's been pretty amazing. Her really good friend, Judy Boley, teaches with us as well. And then her another good friend, Jeremy Gordon. So a lot of amazing casting directors, casting associates. We really try to find casting pros that are currently casting or have been casting the latest stuff, so they can actually share their latest industry knowledge of how this industry is working currently with, all the COVID restrictions. Everything really switched to self-tapes, Zoom auditions, and it's so different from what it was, right? When I was acting, I'm not acting anymore at this time, but it's just so different. And I think it's constantly changing. And I think it's very important for actors to know out there what is, how do you become an actor right now? Where do you get started? What do you do? Where do you live, right? Can I live outside of LA? Can I live in Florida, or do I have to live in New York or LA? So stuff like that I think is very important for everyone to learn. And then obviously not to mention the technique. So a lot of those casting directors over the long like multi-week intensives teach amazing technique. They could either focus on audition technique, scene study. We have a casting director down in Moran. She teaches Meisner, so she actually does like a 4-week intensive, but it meets twice a week. This long, amazing Meisner intensive. So we've been trying to offer a variety of things, really. And then in terms of voiceover, one of the biggest voiceover casting directors in New York, Barry Shapiro, and Andy Roth. Those are like the 2 biggest voiceover / commercial casting directors here. And they've also been teaching with us for a long time now. Everyone just loved their classes. In terms of agents, so what's been very popular at Acting and Voice Studios, and I think a lot of people come to us for this, are bi-coastal agent showcases. So we do huge showcases. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so it starts with we started doing some 3 agent showcase here and there, but really our main showcases are 6 agent manager showcases that are bi-coastal, that have 3 agents from New York, 3 agents from LA. Most of the time, though, even though those agents are in those locations, their agency is bi-coastal. So even though they can't, that's why we're saying it's a bi-coastal showcase. So even if they can't physically sign that person who they're seeing because they're not in the same location, they can still refer you to the New York branch or LA branch, right? Or Atlanta.
Very cool.
Yeah, exactly. So we try to keep that in mind. And the agencies that we've been working with are Gersh, Verve, A3, CESD, Stewart, KMR, DDO. I mean, I can go on and on. Really, Avalon, DGRW, AFH, just so many.
A catalog. You have a full catalog.
And managers from really A-list, like Gersh is an A-list agency, so as like Industry Entertainment, an A-list management company, so as Untitled, right? So we actually have agents and managers from those A-list companies that otherwise, like if you cold email, those agents, unfortunately, they're very busy. They won't actually, most likely they won't respond to you. Sometimes they do, who knows? You never know, right? It's always good to cold email. I've done it myself, but especially if you're starting out, you can, as long as you have some training or experience, you have to be ready to go into those showcases. You can't, it's because this is your first impression, and You can do multiple of those showcases. So that's kind of a good thing about it. And then we also do like a big here and there, every couple of months, we do a big 12 agent and manager showcase, also by Coastal, where we have 6 agents from LA, 6 agents from New York. So that's been awesome as well, all in one night. So that one's like set up into breakout rooms where they actually have like go in from one room to another, to another, to another. There are 4 breakout rooms with 4 agents in each, I think. So they actually the actors get to perform 4 times in a row and get
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you feel like really warm and like can keep like, experimenting, and it being, now virtual. How is that now working? Like
All through Zoom. So breakout rooms.
stop.
Yeah, we do have a lot of like those huge showcases. We do have a lot of assistants there. We have 5 people working of our staff
Wow.
during the showcases, because obviously we provide readers, and then we have one person just in the back, off camera, just literally managing everything, bringing people from one room to another and stuff like that. So, but those are been very, very amazing, because you also get to like hear the feedback from one room, and we're like, okay, I'm going to make an adjustment for the next room or make a different choice, right? So that's kind of my idea. I was like, I would like it as an actor, if I was doing this showcase.
This is just a small thing, but I just want to say, good on you for offering a reader in all of those breakout rooms, because I semi-recently did some workshops with a company that I won't mention, but they offer workshops for agents and managers and casting directors all the time. And their offers are great, but I had been getting the emails for a while, and I was finally like, oh, I've got some time off. Let me sign up for a couple of these this week, whatever. And it was, over Zoom like this and whatever, but there was no reader offered. So for every scene, because they had sent us scenes ahead of time, they just either paired us with people that were just other actors in the room, but like some people didn't show up. So then we had to like volunteer, or it was just like, who wants to read with this person? So like they were auditioning the other actor, but then we were cold reading, and it was just a very like strange, seemed unorganized situation. So yeah.
No, that's good to know. But yeah, I mean, it's so important to offer a reader. I think the only class that we don't offer readers would be like voiceover classes, where they don't need readers. But yeah, every one of our classes has a reader, and those readers are not just people off the streets. There are professional actors, that we actually audition, we interview them. So we screen them before they actually come and work for ADS. And then they go through extensive training. We have like our head of our Zoom training or around online classes. So she trains everybody. And then they go through like shadowing other facilitators, readers that have been doing it for a while. So that's why we have a system. So thankfully, like I feel like when we do so many classes and like do big classes like that, and we have a 12 agent showcase, everything has to be down to a T, because otherwise it would be a mess. And listen, and we've made mistakes too, and we learn from people's like our students' feedback from the teachers. So over the years, I think we came up with a system, and this 12 agent showcase is pretty new. I think we launched it about 6 months ago. So we're like, oh, okay, this doesn't work. Let's do this. And that would be better. So we always come up as a team. We have staff meetings, with our team, with all of our facilitators and readers. And we make sure that it's all smooth. That's like, I just want everyone to have a good experience. I want them to shine. That's what we're here for. We're here for the actor, like it's an opportunity for everybody. To make a good first impression. And yes, it is for educational purposes. I have to mention that, so there's no guarantee of employment or being signed or called in by agents, managers. However, we all know this industry, and this is just one of the ways to make relationships, network, right? And yes, there have been amazing success stories, from people that come prepared, they're ready to kill it, So, and then it's in their hands. Everything's in their hands. We'll provide you everything, right? All these classes, all these connections, but you as an actor have to come ready. and don't come if you're not ready, because what's important is to make that first impression. And that first impression has to be amazing to blow everybody away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's so like, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. You
Yeah.
need
And
that.
I would say, again, we do have some classes for beginners who just want to get their feet wet, and get to know the industry a little more before doing those classes and stuff. So of course, we're not going to say, oh no, don't
Right.
come to us at all. We'd love to, work with anybody who needs guidance. And then another thing I would love to mention is that when somebody becomes signs up even for one class at AVS, they become like a part of our AVS family. So anyone can always email us, ask us questions about the industry, show us their new headshots and say, hey, which headshot do you like best, and things like that. And then as a team, like even I look at them, because our, studio assistants are like, oh, what do you think of this? And how should I answer this question? Right. So we always try to provide advice from our point of view, right? Again,
Right.
I'm going to say maybe somebody else would have a different point of view, but us even just hearing what agents, managers, casting directors have to say during those classes, we kind of already know what to say because we hear them speak about it. So we're always there. We're always there for our actors, our students, and even actors who are not our students who just want to find out how to get started and stuff.
Yeah, that's so great that you guys offer that. I mean, I know personally, I really appreciate the companies that kind of go above and beyond. And, of course, it's all business. So I totally get whenever people can't do that, but companies and teachers that they do make you feel like you're part of the family, and they do, offer like you said, looking at headshots and things like that you maybe wouldn't think of as being a part of it like that. I'm just really grateful when that happens as an actor, because everything is so expensive to be an actor that it really does make a difference whenever people really care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's how I feel too. And because Kent and I are both actors, right? We've been through it. And from my personal experience, the studios that I've been to, the teachers were amazing. I loved my experience with the teachers, right? But the staff, other things, I'd be like, okay, people could be nicer, people could be more friendly. And then, like everyone says, oh, we're not going to hold your hand. You're not like, if you're an actor, right? So you have to do it all yourself, figure it out. But no, I think if I was a part of the studio when I was starting acting, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I would be so much more ahead now because I would know all these things before even getting started. I mean, I remember, and I loved my experience at AMDA, and Carolina, maybe, I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but getting out of AMDA, I didn't know where to go and what to do. I was clueless, right?
Yeah. Not what
and
they tell you that you're going to be prepared for. Like, no, like,
no, I had
no.
no clue what to do. Like nothing, right?
Which is with
So-
any school we've been finding for people that we
Yeah.
like I went to school for just theater, but at a liberal arts college. So that meant nothing. And then we've talked to people with film degrees and whatever, it doesn't matter where you go. They do not prepare you to be in the business.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
don't. They really
Exactly.
don't.
And you get out and you just have to figure it out all on your own. But that's time,
Time and money with each
Exactly.
class you have to take. It's like some of the better ones are just I've spent easily $500 on just 4 classes. It's insane. And yes, the connections were kind of worth it. And that's really the only thing I got out of it, where you meet other people who are willing to invest and are invested. And so you can form a community that way. But yeah, I wouldn't go back to that same company and be like, hey, what do you think about my headshots? They'll be like, don't got time for that, girl. Figure it out. So that's so incredibly amazing that you provide that home for people, because they are, I'm sure they are still investing money, but you're not not about to help them throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
For putting up that investment. It's so hard. It's so hard.
And even now, actually, I don't know how many other studios do that currently, but we do offer actually payment plans. And we're able to offer it through our website.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a thing called Shop Pay through our website. People can go and actually split it to 4 interest-free installments. So, I mean, I'm just so happy that we can offer that to people because I know how hard it is, you know?
Yeah.
So, so that's why I'm hoping that people are taking advantage of that because it is there. It's out there. Our studio offers
No,
that.
that's huge. Thank you for sharing that. Cause like, yeah, like to put in like a huge chunk up front, a lot to it's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
And so when
Yeah.
you have like
Yeah.
those interest
Yeah.
free, payments, it
Yeah.
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we try to have our price point, you know, like we have classes that are just like one night or 2-week intensives to 4-week intensives to our demo reels and acting reels, right? So we really start from like $99 to, you know, going up to $849, but only because it's actual demo reels that
Right.
Kent is the head of our filmmaking division at Acting and Voice Studios, filmmaking slash voiceover, because we actually do acting reels and voiceover reels in New York, LA, and Atlanta. And we have a team here in the city, a team in Atlanta, an amazing team in LA, and they get to write scripts for you, actually shoot in amazing locations. Then they do, you know, edit, sound design, everything.
Mhm.
And it really looks like, you know, it's a short film or it's a nice feature part of a feature film. So it's been great that way. I'm sorry about these notifications.
That's
I don't know
okay.
how to turn them off
No,
on
you're
my
fine.
computer.
You're fine.
Yeah. But so, and Ken's been doing an amazing job with those reels, our voiceover reels as well. I mean, currently we do them in New York. We have a studio where we record them, but if somebody is not in New York and they still want to do them, they definitely can do that and record somewhere else and then send us the files, and our engineers actually edit them. And then it all comes with classes. So like our acting reel, you don't just go and like start shooting. Our customs, they are that way, our custom acting reels. But we have like a 2-week acting reel prep program where an acting coach actually, you know, helps you get ready for the shoot for 2 weeks. And then and then you get to shoot your scene, and then you actually get an IMDb credit also for like
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, girl, just working all the angles. I love it. Actors who are listening, you need to check out these programs if you need an actor reel, voiceover reel, any like, you know, workshops, or you're looking for management. Like this is sounds gold.
The amount of songs and sound effects on Jambox is insane. I can't believe these are almost all exclusive to their database. Plus, you can use the stems to make your own. So many resources.
It's wild and affordable. For the kind of indie films we make, we're probably only ever going to pay between $9.99 and $19.99 a month. That's cheaper than a lot of music we've licensed in the past.
And the composers that created this music work for huge studios and creators. We're talking directors like Scorsese and global brands like DJI. That's huge.
Yep, that's how you know they're good.
And because they love creators, they gave us a discount code to share with our fam. 10% off with code FEMME10.
Aw, how sweet. We love working with companies like Jambox that actually care and know what creators need. Connecting filmmakers with ridiculously good music and sound effects.
So check out jambox.io and remember to use our code FEMME10. That's FEMME 10.
Tessa and I are really excited to have Celtics as a sponsor for the Femme Regard podcast this season because, fam, we've been using them for years and love their services.
Their all-in-one script writing and video production planning tools are used by media creators around the world, and there are lots of reasons to love it. Celtic Studio is cloud-based, meaning your project files are centralized, automatically backed up, accessible from anywhere on any device, and are completely secure. From scripts to reports, all documents follow industry standards, so you can trust your work is production ready. All tools in the Celtic studio are interconnected to create a faster and easier to manage pre-production workflow. And Celtics is built for collaboration, with real-time collaborative script editing, secure sharing links, revision tracking, and comments features.
Head to Celtics.com, that's CELTX.com, to create your free 2-project Celtics account. When you sign up, you'll get unlimited access to Celtics' full suite of tools for your first 7 days.
Celtics, the all-in-one solution for script writing and video production planning.
But speaking of all of this, so you've learned to transition to a virtual world. You have all these, clearly you are tapped in, you have all these amazing connections. So the Actors Summit, I feel like I see where we launched, how we launched. I feel like we already got that through line, girl.
Yeah.
Tell us, because I think, yes, I'll give you the floor for that.
Thank you. Well, I am like beyond excited to share the Actors Summit with all of you guys, all of your listeners, and all of the world. I mean, I'm just so excited about this event. So it's going to be a 3-day virtual event. It's going to be on a very similar platform like Zoom, but not Zoom. But it is actually going to be an experience like you are there in person, because you do have like a lobby where you see the expo hall, all the stages. You can create your own, agenda, like from all the sessions that you have. You can say, oh, I'm a voiceover actor, I just want to do voiceover. So they can actually add the sessions to their schedule and be like, okay, I just want to pick voiceover and commercials, right? So stuff like that. So it's a 3-day huge online event where we're going to have 150 speakers, 150 plus speakers that are going to include top agents, managers, casting directors, celebrity actors, filmmakers, writers, directors, influencers, anything you can possibly imagine that an actor needs, right? Or a filmmaker, or just somebody who wants to become an influencer, right? So it's a pretty amazing event. We actually have 3 ticket types currently, and we have a free admission available, which we are very happy that we can offer that to our actors.
Wow.
Yep. The free admission ticket though is going to end in a couple of weeks, right around like beginning of April. But that's why it's limited. So if you guys and your listeners want to sign up for the free admission, after Summit, please do that as soon as possible because it's limited. It's gonna end soon. But the free admission basically gives you access to the 3 days full of, I believe it's, I think 120 sessions or something, because it's actually 3 stages of 3 sessions going on simultaneously. So from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time, all these sessions are going to be happening on 3 stages with 3 different people, right?
Okay.
Most of them are going to be Q&A based, but completely different topics, whatever that speaker specializes in. And what else? My gosh, there's like so much to tell you that I don't know where to start. It overwhelms me.
No, this is great. I think just like the key takeaways is that it's not just like you're hopping on a Zoom link. It's a whole like catered to you experience. And like a lot of us can feel like we tune out of different sessions, like when it's not, the thing we're interested in. So that is just huge that you can like, set up and meet with the speakers that you want to meet with and like hear from. And are they just all like, they're like workshops, they'll have like specific topics that they're covering when they speak, like these celebs and actors and amazing people that you have?
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone, they're like workshops. They do have like each of the speakers have its own topic. So definitely you would get to, by going there, you can just learn so much about TV and film world, casting world, how to get an agent and everything that's all about representation, right? In all different areas of theatrical agent, commercial agent, print, voiceover. So we are really trying to cover it all.
Yeah.
And youth also. So it is actually offered to any age. So, the parents can come with your kids and join and meet and, hear and learn from those speakers. So that's what's amazing is just the sessions themselves. And yeah, if somebody's like, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this session, I can jump into the other one because there's like 3 sessions going on at once.
Gotcha.
They can, in some sessions, they can also submit some Q&A chats, right? So they can submit their questions via the chat. And then other amazing things about the event, there's just so much to do there. It's like a big convention,
Yeah.
It's virtual. But basically we have a networking section. It's a specific section. It's actually open to our regular ticket holders and VIP ticket holders, so not the free admission. But it's basically, you can network with 10,000 plus attendees, plus with agents, managers, filmmakers, influencers, anyone else that you see there. You can actually sort by who you want to network with. Let's say, I'm looking for an agent, right? So I can sort, okay, I just want to see agents in my networking area. And you see, okay, who's active currently in the networking center.
Okay.
And you can actually FaceTime them. So
Wow.
I know. So you would actually have like FaceTime calls with, other attendees or an agent or a manager or a filmmaker, like a few-minute call. You can end the call and start another call with some other agent or another filmmaker. So we kind of tried to have like this live experience, but being virtual, right? So they could do that. There's also like theme chats as well, where we're going to have different themes like voiceover commercials, different things like that, TV and film. And they get to just also chat, with other people in the industry within like this private chat. So all those like different extra perks. And then lastly, our VIP perks are pretty freaking phenomenal, I have to say, because we offer different things based on, what you're looking for. So if you're just an actor, you can sign up for our 30 agent and manager mega showcase, which is like the biggest showcase that we've ever done. Acting and Voice Studios itself will never do it. So this is a showcase specifically created for Actors Summit, and we actually, we just opened up enrollment for the 3rd one. And we only have a couple of spots left at this point. So the mega showcase is being filled up pretty quickly. So you can pick that actor perk that would include the mega showcase. Plus it would also include getting your headshot, resume, and your reel being sent to 100 plus agents and managers. So that's another.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That is pretty freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I can't say that word right now. But yeah, that's amazing. Like, what?
Thank you. Yeah. If you are a filmmaker, you can actually choose the filmmaker perk. And
oh my God.
Yep.
Okay, filmmakers, if you've been tuning out a little bit, heads up. Okay, there's a filmmakers section, and
you can actually pitch your script with like a log line to filmmakers, directors, writers, producers that are going to be on a panel. Plus, your script will be sent to also a bunch of producers that are currently looking for scripts and to produce stuff. So that's another awesome thing for filmmakers that we're offering.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then we have a separate voiceover perk for people who just want to do voiceover, right? So their same thing, their like resume and demo reel would be sent to voiceover agents, and they would get to participate in a voiceover showcase.
That's amazing. Like, first of all, that's just like way more offers than I ever see for anything. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of virtual summits, like through COVID times. Carolina knows I was just on Zoom all the fucking time.
All the time.
None of them were.
I was like, Tessa, what are you doing in this hour between this hour? She's like, I'm on 3 different Zooms. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, but nothing was like this. Like, it's all the different things you're offering are amazing to begin with. But that's really cool that like at the VIP level too, you get to really customize it, because I feel like a lot of times, when you do see like a VIP option or whatever for stuff like this, it's like, okay, it's more money. And like, yes, I'm getting more out of it, but then I'm also getting this other stuff that I don't even want or need. So it's really cool that you get to customize your experience.
Yeah, thank you so much. Definitely. I mean, we are trying to offer as much as possible because, again, I do know our time is valuable. Like those
Yeah.
3 days, I want people to learn as much as possible about the industry. And I did forget to mention, we will have, also casting directors and agents from UK, from Canada, from Australia, from Hawaii, Chicago, Atlanta, and obviously in New York and LA. So we're trying to, if somebody's interested in those markets as well, or at least like I'm even myself curious, oh my gosh, how does it work in UK? Is it like the same ways it's here? Because maybe I will want to go to UK one day. Who knows? Right. So
Right.
so things like that. And then another amazing thing that the regular and VIP ticket holders will get are 30-day replays. So of those sessions.
Nice.
So because we will have 3 sessions going on simultaneously. Obviously, they can't watch 3 sessions at
Right.
once, right? So they don't have to. If they're part of our, regular ticket holders or VIP ticket holders, they get those 30-day replays that actually start immediately. So even that day, like even if you want to just rewind a little bit, and watch the seminar and or it's like, oh my gosh, I missed that part. I just want to go back a little bit, right? And see what that
Yeah.
was. You can
Yeah.
do that.
Oh,
So
that's huge.
Yeah.
and you can go back anytime for 30 days and stream those sessions. There are a couple of casting directors that are not comfortable just recording their sessions. So we're going to respect their privacy, but honestly, 95% of our sessions are going to be recorded and available to stream.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And, just for the people that are like, well, I need to know the facts. Let's get into the logistics of dates and approximate prices and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, totally. So dates are Friday through Sunday, May 20th, May 21st, and May 22nd. So all through the weekend. The sessions will be held 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. That way, people that are in Europe can join as well, but then also people who are, in LA on the other coast can join, and they can also do replays for the sessions that they missed that are very, very early.
Yeah.
And then, so free admission, as I mentioned, includes basically just viewership only. You can view all the sessions, during the 3 days. And then the regular ticket holders are included the 30-day replays, right? And then the networking with one-on-one networking that I mentioned in the networking center with 10,000 plus attendees, plus the agents, managers, filmmakers, influencers, etc. And then our VIP tickets, as I mentioned, include also the 30-day replays, also the networking center, but then plus those amazing perks that we already have discussed. In terms of pricing, our pricing actually goes up weekly. So like if somebody wants to book their ticket, they should book it ASAP.
Yeah.
Or again, even sign up for the free admission if you're just like starting out and you're not sure and you just kind of want to, get your feet wet. But if are an actor really pursuing this, I would strongly recommend, the regular ticket or VIP ticket. The regular ticket currently is around, $150 or so. Again, the price fluctuates, and the VIP ticket is around $450 currently. But what that VIP ticket even like includes, there's just, I think, so much value for an actor that they can get out of it. They can also use the free installments to pay for these tickets as well. So if they're on our website, if they're on our website and they want to sign up, they can just choose Shop Pay, and that would split the payment into 4 free installments.
I thought
Amazing.
whenever you said that VIP price, like that's what I expected the normal ticket price to be or something like that, So these are like, listeners, if you've never done something like this, these are very reasonable prices. Like you would pay that much for like an eighth of what she's offering. So
Yeah,
just be aware of that,
seriously.
listeners. Honestly, it's a really good deal. I highly recommend you guys check it out.
Thank you, Tessa, for saying
Yeah.
that too, because she's the queen of workshopping and doing all of that, which I love, because it is important, to keep working on your craft, and like these are where you make connections and all of
Right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. And actually, last thing I do want to mention that we're going to have an amazing expo hall that's also going to feel very personal and is going to make you feel like you're there in person and not, virtual. But
Yeah.
basically, you can go into the expo hall for amazing perks and deals that, almost every one of them is going to be offering. And that's really acting coaches, headshot photographers, acting studios, and acting schools, acting reels, anything that you could possibly imagine that an actor needs. And these companies are going to be offering amazing deals. And you can go into the expo hall, you can visit their booth, and
Oh
you
my
can
God.
actually, I know, and you
So
can actually
cool. Like what?
talk, yeah, you can actually video chat with them, like
Did
be
you
on
just make the metaverse? Did you just like make the actor world metaverse right now? That's
The
what it sounds
Actorverse.
like.
That was
The
that was
actorverse.
our goal. That was our goal, to make something like this for actors. Exactly.
Wow. Sorry, I interrupted. So literally you'll have all these expo booths and you'll be able to see like their portfolios and what they're offering.
Yeah, and then if you have
Yeah.
questions, you can even go and just literally talk to them and ask them, what is the process, anything. So it's just such an amazing place for an actor to, okay, I want to get new headshots. Let's say my goal for this year, right? For 2022, I want to get new headshots. I need a reel and I need an agent and a manager. Actor Summit is for you,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm going to go learn what I need to do in this industry and how this industry works today during COVID times, right? And
Yeah.
then I can go into the expo hall and meet headshot photographers and acting reel companies and ask them all my questions that I have, get amazing deals that you're not going to get outside of Actor Summit, right?
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
are, trying to get the best pros for everyone possible, to be there. And we want them to offer deals to our actors and our attendees. And then you can also go and network with people, with filmmakers and agents. So, I mean, there's just so much there. That's why I'm so super, super excited about this event.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And where do people go to sign up to buy their tickets?
Yep, good question. Easy. Actorsummit.com.
Amazing.
So it's easy. It's actorsummit.com. You can actually even see the speakers that we've announced so far under a speakers page. And we are constantly releasing the new speakers. You can also go and, see what the ticket includes. I know I kind of like bombarded you guys with all the information, and I know it's like, it might be a little overwhelming because it is a lot. So yeah, you can see what each ticket includes. And you will be able to find our free admission there, our regular admission, so as our VIP admission.
Amazing. I'm so excited for you and like for everybody that's involved in this. Like it's going to be such a cool thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been thinking about it for a long time, I have to tell you. And Kent and I, it is a big job, I have to tell you, especially that we're running Acting Voice Studios at the same time. We have a 3-year-old, we're pregnant with another baby. So there's like,
Oh, yeah, did I mention she's also a fabulous mother? Like I needed to tag that. Oh my God. Yeah, you're always doing the most. I love it. Scorpio girl energy right here.
Yeah, thank you guys. Well, thankfully I'm due after the event. So because I don't know how I would do it all with, having a newborn baby. But the one thing I didn't mention also, like who's going to be there. We have some amazing celebrity speakers. Amy Smart is going to be there. Milana Weintraub, who's the face of AT&T, is going to be there, and she's going to be speaking. As I mentioned, Jane Jenkins, Marcy Leroff, all these casting directors from all over the world, as well as Pixar casting directors, Kevin Reher and Natalie Leon. Also, the Disney's Animation Studios main casting director, Jamie Roberts.
Oh my God.
Yes. So it's, I mean, I'm just so super excited that, actors of all ages can come and just learn all of this. And you don't have to actually even spend money. You can actually just sign up for a free ticket and go and learn.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do is just show up and be there. And
Thank you, girl. Thank you for creating something like this for all ages, for everyone to have access to, because I mean, we can offer that now in this day and age, and that's super amazing. So thanks for thinking of others in that way, because not, some people just want to, have people buy tickets, and you could easily just, like Tessa said, charge up the butt for all of this stuff, and for like not just, not even have free admission. So that's really huge.
Thank you. Thank you. I so really appreciate that. I mean, again, because we come from an actor's point of view, we're both actors. So, and I know how hard it is financially, to invest into all of this. So we really do try to help our actors and our students and our attendees as much as possible with those payment plans, with the free admission. At Acting and Voice Studios, a lot of times we also do free classes, like free workshops with also agents and casting directors. So we really do try to do our best for people to just come and join and be there and learn and take something out of it.
Love it.
Love it, babe. And where can everyone find you? And all the amazing things.
That's just what I was going to say.
I hopped in before Tessa could.
Of course. Okay, so Instagram, Kat Moran Official. I also have some music out on Spotify. If you just search for my name, Kat Moran. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, so that's how you can find me. And then my husband is Kent Moran, so you can also find him on Twitter.
We love Kent. He's a friend of the show. We love him. He's done amazing. So I love following both of your journeys. Like it's the best. You guys are both always creating something, and you're just you're a family, you're business owners, and it's so hard to do, but
power couple.
Well, yes, Tessa, exactly.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, and if you want to follow, Acting and Voice Studios, it's really just at Acting and Voice Studios, and same thing with Actors Summit. But I think it's just Actors Summit.
Okay. Awesome.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for hopping on, girls. So glad to finally have you.
I am so happy that I was able to come and be here with you guys, and I wish this session never ended. We could talk forever.
Oh my God, yes. And next time we'll do a virtual tea. It'll be a whole thing.
Oh, I would love that.
Or we'll come visit. I don't know.
Thanks for listening to Femme Regard Podcast. If you like what you hear, tune in next time for more tips on the filmmaking business and insightful conversations with industry professionals over tea. We can only grow with your support, so please subscribe, share, rate, and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. If you leave us a great comment, we might give you a shout out on the show. For more on us, check us out at femregard.com.